to The Curling Show, podcast that brings you interviews with the sport's top athletes and the people who shape the game. I'm Dean Gemmel, and in this edition, we talked with Craig Savill, lead for Team Glenn Howard, in our first podcast from our new location in Short Hills, New Jersey, just a short drive from the finest club in the state. Okay, the only club in the state, the Plainfield Curling Club. Two-time Canadian and World Junior Champion, twice a Brier runner-up, winner of more than a bit of cash in the World Curling Tour, and sadly only the third lead to appear on this podcast. Craig Savill, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dean.
Hey, let's start with the Shorty Jenkins Classic this past weekend in Brockville. For me, the most interesting score of the spiel was Team China 5, Team Glenn Howard 0 playing the sixth end. Now, you guys went on to win that game when you closed them out with 6 straight points, but were you wondering if the planets had realigned over the summer?
Oh my God, what a disastrous start to the year for sure. They played really well in the first few ends, and really good hitting team. We weren't really sharp, and we sort of looked at each other and were contemplating if we should quit or not. And then we just thought, let's play a couple more ends.
And you said we're playing Team China. We can't quit.
Yeah, well, that's right. We didn't want to get too embarrassed, so we decided to play a few more ends, and then we got them drawing, and lo and behold, we took a 3 and started stealing from there.
They whipped Kevin Cooey and beat a couple of other teams. How good are they?
Oh, I know. Well, I think they're pretty good. They made a few strategic errors when they're playing us, but that will come with time. But that ace was really good for them because it was fairly straight.
Oh, yeah.
And they were a really good hitting team. Getting on some curling ice, I don't know if they'll do as well, but props to them. I don't know how long they've been curling. I don't think they've been curling too long, but they did a great
8 months.
job. Yeah, well, 8 months. That's it.
Oh, I'm just guessing. No, they curled. They were on. They came to some tour events last season, I think, didn't they? Out west.
Yeah, I heard a bit of a rumor too that they're going to be here for about 5 months training too. So it's a long time and good opportunity for them to learn over here in Canada where there's a bit more competition.
Right. Hey, you guys did end up qualifying, but you lost in the quarters to Wayne Madaw, which considering your two teams, that's probably going to happen 50% of the time, say. But from the way you're talking, I'm going to guess this wasn't one of those years where you felt like you came out of the gates in mid-season form. Fair assessment?
Yeah, very fair. We weren't playing great. We sort of put a few ends together in all the games, and we sort of played one great game, and that's about it. But other than that, it was sort of a little disappointing. But it's a first weekend, and it's a good fun weekend too. Get a little golf in and stuff. So.
Right. I mean, I really don't think the Shorty spiel is a great barometer of the season. But that said, Kevin Martin and his team looked like they were pretty sharp. Were they?
All the shots I looked over, it looked like they were making everything. And looking at the scores, either everyone crumbled or they were playing great. And I would think that they were playing really well. I mean, the solid team that they have.
Yeah, I mean, of course, John Morris pretty well. Were you surprised when he decided to play third for Kevin?
I was a little bit. I know John loves to skip. And I knew there was sort of rumors flying around about him going over to play with Martin. And I don't know. I didn't really think it was going to happen. But let's see if it works out.
So did he look comfortable at third this weekend?
Yeah, he definitely did. It might sort of keep his mind off of other things and just let him concentrate on curling. And when he does, he's one of the best shooters out there. So he gets a little scary.
Hey, back when John decided to head out west, were you surprised then, or disappointed, or neither, or both?
Well, good question. I think I wasn't too surprised that he was going out west. He's always said he loved it. Every time we go to a western spiel, he liked the lifestyle out there, and the guy wants to be a professional curler like most of us do, and that's where the competition is right now. And you're going to get better playing all the big names, so I didn't see it as a surprise, per se. And once university was done, I don't think there's anything holding him back in Ontario.
Hey, let's talk about your team in last season. When I saw you guys play in Winnipeg at the Slam out there, you looked like a lot of teams who went to the trials and weren't named Gushu. So you looked a little flat and maybe like you were out of sync. You didn't qualify there, but then you ended up going on that real tear with a good showing in the Canada Cup and, of course, the trip to the Brier final. Before that real good run, though, did it feel like the team was running on empty?
Yeah, I think we might have started to get a little worn out. When we made the decision, we went to Winnipeg instead of going to our zone playdown, which meant we would have our last chance to go to the challenge round to get to the provincials. And after sort of a shock to us that we didn't qualify, we were sort of a little bit mad about our decision, obviously, because we didn't qualify, and now we had to go in this challenge round, which is sometimes a crapshoot with the ice, and a lot of the good teams from Ontario that haven't made it yet are in this field. So, I mean, yeah, I think we just came out of that one and just shook our heads and took a couple weeks off and got right back into it and then started playing really well.
You know, I'm going to say I liked that decision last year. I thought it was kind of a bold gamble, and I thought it was a good idea.
Yeah.
Last year's Brier, you guys, I thought, you looked like the class of the field all week, and you went in the Brier final, of course, with only one loss, and then you really had one bad end. Was last year's loss tougher to get over than the one in 2002 with John Morris?
Oh, I think so, for sure. Completely different. I mean, when we went with John, it was our first one. Everything was so new, and we're going into it, hoping to play well and see what happens. We knew we had a great shot. And we played well all the way up to the Brier final. And, looking back, it hurt obviously then, but looking back saying, you know what, we had a good run, did a great job, and what can you do from there? Then going with Glenn, going with a great team again, and only thinking about one thing, about winning it. And after playing so great that whole week, it was very disappointing losing that final when we thought sort of the stars were aligned for us to win one. Very disappointing.
You guys look like you're making another commitment to 4 years, like most teams now. Is that fair to say that you guys are committing for another 4 years?
Yeah, definitely, as long as I don't get cut in the next little while. For sure.
As long as there's not sudden shift with somebody?
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, we've committed for the next 4 years. I think a lot of teams, you almost have to now with this system that they have out there, although you can qualify late, but it's definitely in your best interest to start things going now. And we have a great time, the four of us together. We're sort of best friends off the ice too. So
yeah, the chemistry of your team seems like it really does help you. Was there ever a time when you considered parting ways post trials last year?
With Glenn?
Yeah, or any of you?
Oh no.
No, you guys were solid all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't think we have ever.
And you wouldn't admit to it anyways, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe you should ask Glenn if he ever thought about parting ways with us after Winnipeg, but. No. I think we're going to stick it out for a little while.
You played third as a junior, and Brent Lang there played lead. You played second for John in 2002 when Joe Franz joined the team, and Brent continued at lead. But once you teamed up with Glenn and Rich, you switched things up, and now you play lead and Brent plays second. Why?
Well, actually, my last year with Morris, we made the switch as well. Brent played second, I was playing lead, and I think Brent and I are fairly equal at the skill level and making all the shots. And I think the last couple years with John, I kind of lost my luster and my competitive edge. And I don't know if it was sort of school getting in the way, or we're just playing such a hectic schedule, or playing with the same guys for so long. And I know I wasn't as sharp anymore. So I think we made that move just to sort of switch things up and give Brent an opportunity to throw something else than a draw for 5 years straight. So.
Hey. Speaking of that, the 4-rock rule does make lead about the most specialized position in the sport.
Yeah.
Do you ever get bored playing there, and do you think you ever will get bored?
You know what? Right now, no, not at all. I don't think I would play lead without playing with guys that are great shooters as well.
Right.
And that we weren't doing so well, I think. I'm very happy right now where I am, and I'm not too bored. I keep telling myself that I'm an important person, and you know what?
I'm good enough.
You can't win a game for a team, but you can definitely lose it for a team.
That is the reality. That's what you have to focus on, I think, because it's tough to win games at lead, that's for sure, but you definitely can lose a game for a team.
Although I have won a few games for our team, let me tell you.
You believe you have, do you? Hey, don't you skip an Ottawa Major League or something, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do. So at least I get to throw a couple shots above board weight. So,
right.
Which you have to do. I think a lot of leads do that. They go elsewhere and they'll either play third or skip or something just to switch it up. If I kept on throwing guards in my league play, I think I'd probably go a little crazy.
Well, and I think the sweeping is so much more important now than it used to be too. So
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, it's such a difference. I mean, look at Furby's team and Martin's team. They were great sweepers, and it can definitely make a difference. You know, getting a rock by a millimeter and saving a couple shots here and there. With such good teams out there now, it's just that one or two shots that could turn it around in a game.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much.
No, absolutely not. No.
Hey, your team is one of those with members from different parts of the province. How often do you guys get together to practice?
Well, we're going into our third year, and I think we've had 2 team practices so far. We're too far away from each other, and we curl quite a bit too during the winter. And so we basically, if we get to a spiel early, we'll throw some rocks together. But besides that, we practice on our own, play in our leagues, and hope it works out once we get on the ice.
You know, I think that points out an interesting thing, though. Looking beyond 2010, would you ever consider playing with people from other provinces around the country and just focusing on the tour and the Olympics, and then saying forgoing the Brier?
You know what? I don't think so. I love the Brier, and you know what? That's a big stepping stone too to get to the Olympics. It's you get
That's
another
true.
trial spot as well, and that's why actually we decided this year we were thinking about should we go into a zone or one of the slams, which right now I think is during our zones.
Is that a problem again? You guys have a zone butted up against a slam?
Well, as it shows up right now on the World Curling Tour, it is. I don't know if the dates are confirmed, so we're just sort of holding back to see what happens. But we've decided we want to play in zones again. Just give us that extra shot because the Brier is so big. I mean, you can get funding out of it too. It's good money, and going to the show is there's nothing really like it.
Are the zones in Ontario all different weekends?
They
like
are
different zones, different weekends?
Almost all of them are. There's 2 different weekends for them.
Okay.
Yeah, the province hasn't. They keep sort of switching the dates as well. The provincials are at a different time again this year too. So.
That just seems frustrating because I know last year that slam, you know, Wayne Medad elected to play zones, I guess, right? You guys went to the slam, so you're probably going to have the same problem again this year.
Well, yeah, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that the slam moves somehow. And you know, it's just
it's tough to move the slam though. I mean, the slam's in the arena.
Yeah, well, true enough, but you know what? Just hopefully, sort of curling, all the heads get together sometime and they organize themselves so that all the provincial playdowns are all at the same time, and then we have the slams at the same time so that we can play in all of it.
Exactly, and that's the bigger issue. Make them all the same time across the country. I mean, get everybody on the same page.
Well, geez, we've been sort of fighting for that forever, and it just seems like it might be a losing battle. It has definitely gotten better, and there's more events out there that have been created since. But
the crazy thing is they could solve that probably with one conference call a year.
What's that?
They could solve that with one conference call a year.
Well,
get everybody on one call and arrange workout dates.
Well, exactly. It's just getting everybody on that conference call and agreeing to those dates, right?
Maybe I'll convene it.
Well, that would be great if you could.
It's our only chance, I think.
Savior of curling.
Yeah, right. I think we're in deep trouble if a guy living in New Jersey is going to be the savior of Canadian curling, but that's another story.
Well, someone's got to do it.
Hey, finally, any discussion with someone from your team has to include a little talk about fashion. And there were the white belts last year, and this year I hear you're going to be the men in pink and black. Is this part of a mission to pull curling clothes out of the 80s and maybe back to the 70s? Or
well, I guess you haven't heard that the pink is the new black now.
Pink is the new black. I thought brown was the new black, but that was a few years ago.
No, it's pink. No, we're actually it started with Scott Taylor at Balance Plus. They were raising money for breast cancer, and they brought out the pink.
Right, with those brushes.
Yeah, and they're selling a bunch of those, and so
actually the handles, I guess.
Yeah, the pink handles, and we decided to sort of align ourselves with the Breast Cancer Foundation and try to raise some money throughout the year. And we're going to donate a percentage of our winnings, as well as people can go on our website and donate money as well. So
what's your website? I'll give you a chance here.
It's teamglennhoward.com, and Glenn is spelled with 2 N's.
Does .ca work too?
.ca, yes.
All right.
And that should be up in early October. And you can go on there and donate, and you can check out all our picks as well.
You know what? I think you guys need to try some plaid pants. We gotta go. I think plaid would be a good look. Go back to like the 70s and Heck Gervais or something.
Well, actually, Langer went out and got us some striped golf pants that we were brandishing at the Shorty Spiel.
Oh, yeah?
So if we win a couple more games, we might have to bring them out on the ice.
Somehow I sense that Brent might be the guy who's behind most of it.
He was this year, yeah, getting those pink outfits for us.
What's the ratio of pink to black?
Well, on the actual, our jackets are all black, but our shirts are mostly pink.
Right.
We have one that's full pink and one real good one that's actually pink and orange.
Well, good for you guys. I think it's a good thing. You know, definitely. I was talking to John Meade over the summer, and I said, boy, I look at photos of me curling in the 80s, and it was just a dork fest.
We'll probably look exactly like that.
Yeah, well, go back to the 70s instead of the 80s. I think would be a good place to go.
Yeah, sure enough.
All right, Craig, it's time for the run back. I give you a topic, and you give me your thoughts in 1 to 3 words.
All right.
Number of brooms broken by your junior team.
All Morris, probably 6.
All Morris all the time with the broom breaking. He says he's better now, though, because he can't break the new brooms.
Well, I think so. But he still uses that 8-ender. And
does he use that playing third? Is he sweeping with that thing?
No.
Okay.
He's sweeping with this.
All right.
Yeah.
He's throwing with that thing now.
Although he's still in the house with an 8-ender, so if Kevin misses anything, look out.
Skipping in the Ottawa Major League.
Weak start, solid finish.
Best team in Ontario that people outside the province have never heard of.
I'm going to say Willie Jeffries.
How many years you plan to be a competitive curler?
All my life.
How many times people ask if you're related to Edmonton's Bruce Savill?
Ooh. Probably 10 times a year.
Nice.
And by the way, I wish I was.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad thing. You might just start saying yes and go with it.
Well, yeah, I got to throw an E at the end of my name. That's what I should do.
Yeah, it's true. Well, just go with that then. Throw an E and just see what happens. You might get some money thrown your way.
Yeah, maybe I'll just show up with a bag and say, hey, Dad.
Yeah. And finally, the biggest misperception about curling that the sport has to change.
It's only for old men and women.
All right, that's fair enough. Hopefully, you guys keep wearing the pink and black. Maybe that'll help.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thanks, Craig. Good to have you on the show, and good luck the rest of the season.
Okay, thanks, Dean.
That's Craig Savill on The Curling Show. Thanks for listening, and remember that you can advertise on The Curling Show on a package of shows, the whole season, or just a single edition. For more information, call 973-921-0106 or send an email to dgemmel@thecurlingshow.com, or better yet, visit the website and click on Advertising and Sponsorship. Here's Black Pudding.